Good morning. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the SHAC Shack. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Aren't we the lucky ones? My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning almost. And we're going to do some doodling and some colouring. Colouring today, actually. And breathe. So come on in. I hope you are going to join me for an hour maximum of just chillaxing, you know. It's yoga for the mind. That's what we call it. Jilly's in the building with you. So I'm hoping that the sound is great. Yeah, thank you, Jilly. And she's going to be looking after you if you have any questions or if you're looking for anything. And let's just stop for a minute and have a cup of tea. Good morning from sunny Ashford. Good morning, Sonia. I didn't know you were in Ashford. Oh, you're not far at all. Ah, nectar. Come on in. It's great to have your company today. And thank you if you joined me on the telly yesterday with Dan Bancroft. He's a dish, isn't he? I love him. He's such a great presenter. They all are. But he's really nice. And what a lovely collection of stamps on that show. If you didn't see it, I am going to recap it because I'm going to take this opportunity because there was some really smashing stuff on that TV show yesterday. And hopefully it was easier to find. Did you see, if you were watching, did you notice that, you know, I was saying about high definition, the quality, what a difference. I mean, so much sharper and brighter. Didn't you find? I found it was much better when I was looking at the monitors. Yeah, really good. Really good. So while you're all coming in the building, I'll show you what we actually did. What was the first thing? Oh, the birds. The birds. It was the birds, you see. Did you see those? These were the... No, I got some samples here. I grabbed them. I'm a bit tired today, so if it's all a little bit disjointed, forgive. These were the 3 sets of stamps. I really like these. And then they went with the birds that we showed you. Did you see these? Weren't they something else? And I showed you how to, they come with the stands, don't they? They come blank. They come like that. They come blank. It was, if you want to see how they are constructed and how to use them, I'm sure there's a catch-up link on Create and Craft, on the new Create and Craft. I'm sure that you can catch up and watch the shows. That was really nice. And so, yeah, the birds were really cool. And then I showed you one. This was using the forget-me-not stamps to cover them. Really nice stamps. And I also made a little dangly one, which I thought was rather lovely. Like, you see it better from the front. But isn't that nice as a mobile? You know, I really like these. And the thing is, they're cards. They're not just ornaments. So when you actually open them up, what I like about them is you leave that space open, and that's where you put your messages. So that's pretty cool. And of course, they flat pack into the 6x6 envelope. Little ones go in the 5x5 envelope. This was a nice one, which brings me on nicely to the next thing that we didn't show on TV because it's not appropriate there, apparently. But check this out. So this is rather lovely, and Make Art Not War. You know, Jim made the set of stamps, and we're sending half of all proceeds, half of every penny you spend, we're sending to the Red Cross. Well, we've sold over 400 of these. 400 of these so far. That's a lot of money. £10 each, no discount. That's big bucks that we're sending to the Red Cross. So I think we'll get the first check sent out this week. We sent a big check. I think it was last week. We transferred money to Guy's Hospital. Remember, we had to drive on that last time. But this is massive. 400 of these. And if you're a groover or you're a parcher, Jim turned it into a groovy plate for you. So these are also on the website. And again, half of all proceeds will go to the charity, to the Red Cross. And this was nice. I enjoyed doing it. We were talking about sending good healing energy to the poor people of Ukraine. This is. It felt good making it. It felt good. It's a kind of a meditative thing, you know. So that was quite nice. And I made some little cards as well, some little notelets, a little affirmation, and I'm going to put these around the house. I think it just, you know, because I don't know how it's affecting you, but it's affecting me not so well. You know, I mean, what am I worried about? You know, I'm not in Kiev, but I just feel awful, and I'm sure that all of you do too, and so we have to keep sending good energy and sending money and sending blankets and sending help, you know, until the governments figure out what to do, you know, and we don't know, you know, we don't know. We only know what they tell us, so let's hope that they're telling us the truth. But that's, you know, this is a way that we can help. Okay, so do, if you can, do something. If you do something, even if it's just buy a set of stamps and give it to a friend to make birds with, it will make you feel better. Just do something, and then stop watching the news. God, it's not going well, is it? And what else did we do on the telly yesterday, changing the subject before I get really low? Right, here we go. Look, so these are lovely stamps. These are the crescent ones. They came out really nice. I love these. Really pleased with the way they came out. Put them through their paces, didn't we? And then the other thing that we put on the telly, of course, was Annie's stamps. You know, life is sad sometimes, isn't it? But we decided, because we lost Annie a few months ago to cancer, 33 years old. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't bear thinking about. But what we did was, we put all her art, all these lovely figures, not all her art, she did loads of fantastic stencils. I'm working on a set of stencils as well, just to put her art together so that she lives on in her art then, and it's not just sprinkled through the it's in one place, Annie's art, you know, so we don't forget her, you know. So this is a beautiful set, really nice. There you go. And this was a really lovely piece of artwork done by Andy Duggan, our friend Andy. And I loved the way he tucked like a tag in there. And then he took our little girl here. I just think it's lovely. So this is a combination now of that one, this one, with all the grasses and all these pieces are just beautiful. Very easy to do. You know, you just got to work through what went first. So first of all, the thing is to make the background. And in case you're wondering how that's done, honestly, just make a post-it that's that size, the size that you want, right? And then when you put stamp all this around it, so you've masked off the white area, and then the black, because it's silhouette, you put that straight over the top. So that's how you do that. And you get some ink, and you get a brush, and you go shush, 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 shush. Then you take, when you've taken that away, then you can take your micron pen and you can go around the outside to edge it, just a doodle. Then you can take your silhouette stamps and put them in place. So it's really nice, beautiful card by Andy, isn't it? Smashing. Here's another one. This one's also by Andy. Nice. Reach for the stars, using all the little elements in the panel. That was nice. And there was another nice one by Debbie McMullen. I like that one as well. Just tipped differently. Nice, isn't it? It's just lovely. They're just lovely stamps. So there you go. I pedalled like a good one yesterday for 2 hours, which is probably why I'm feeling a little worn out today. We don't ping back like we used to, do we, Barbara? We don't. So there you go. That's what I wanted to show you. Sadly, the live shows disappeared from FreeSat yesterday. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, they're having issues again. But you could go on you could go on the website, can't you, Pat? Go on the website, createandcraft.com. I only watch the telly on the computer. Have you got a computer, or are you communicating with us on your phone? You know, I mustn't assume that everybody's got a PC, have I? Right, come on then. Let's do some artwork. But that's what I wanted to show you. So you've got lots to think about there. Keep you busy. And we're looking at this lovely artwork now. So this is great. This is what we're working with, this Woodland Creatures colouring art pack. And so remember we were using our cotton buds to do that lovely arty inky. Remember? Bit of a recap here. So that is the first thing to tell you. Morning, Jane Telford. Nice to see you. Yeah, peace. Travel gently. Definitely. Definitely. And I've got to slow down. I know for myself, I need to slow down a bit because I'm spiraling a bit, you know, just going too fast, trying too hard to keep things going. And I think I need to just take my foot off the accelerator and chill. So I'm really glad to be with you this morning. This to me is a bit of downtime, you know. Believe it or not, this is not a performance for me. This is hanging out with friends in the shack. And that's how I feel about it. You know, genuinely I do. So this isn't, for me, this is not work. I don't see this as work. I see this as, yeah, hanging out with friends, actually. So TV, that's work. Moment of clarity, that's work. You know, this is not work. Right, come on, guys, let's have a look. This is what we did. See, because just in case you're new to the fold, we've got these woodland creatures that were drawn by our friend Mel. I tell you what, also Mel, she sent me a fabulous, because we sent her a set of these, right? Because of course we used their artwork. So with compliments of clarity, we sent her a set of these. She lost her mojo during lockdown. You know, she's a creative. She had a block. I completely understand it. And off the back of sending her own artwork coloured in by Dee, it triggered her to go again. And so at the weekend, she sent me a beautiful, beautiful picture with birds. Ah, gorgeous. She's a real bird girl. And she sent me a beautiful picture with birds. And she said, would you like this? Shall I ink it up for you? Would you like to use it? Would you like to buy it? I said, I would. And so we've got new art. She's got our mojo back and off we go again. That's cool, isn't it? So isn't it funny how her own artwork motivated her to get going again? Yeah, so we're funny creatures, aren't we? But I get that too. I really do. I look at my pottery and I think, I want to have another go at that. Right. Ellen in Norway and Jenny in Australia. Good morning, ladies. Welcome from afar. Welcome to the shack. One of the best things about this is that there are so many people all over the world hanging out. Do you know that there are 210 of us in the room, apparently? 210 people. If we were all in one room, that'd be packed, wouldn't it? Packed. I think we're all feeling the need to kind of hold hands again, you know? Completely understandable. No words for this one. No words. This is beyond my comprehension, what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. Beyond my comprehension. And so all I can do is keep a clear head and help the people around me to keep a clear head. That's the best I can do. And sell as many of those sunflower stamps and groovy plates as we can. But we'll get the first check off. You know, it could be a rolling check. It doesn't have to be a grand total Red Cross finished. Keep going. I'll come up with something else to sell you so that we can raise funds to send to the Red Cross. There's always a crisis. And there'll be more crises, you know. It's a rolling crisis, this world, isn't it? It's a rolling crisis. We just roll from one disaster, one crisis into another. But to go from a 2-year global pandemic, then have a little terrible, stormy, you know, global warming crisis, and then no sooner have we come out of that, bang, war. War? Really? Invasion? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. And so we draw and we doodle and we try and stay sane, don't we? We stay away from the TV news, certainly not at night. Never watch it in the evening, because even if you think you need to know, honestly, I'm the worst offender for it. As it's ramping up and as it's starting to unroll and the atrocity and what's going on, you feel you want to be with them, but you don't. It's like, and it's not that I'm ignoring it, but it's just too painful, you know? It's not helping, because then the whole world is panicking. We have to stay strong, because in a minute, they're going to need us more than we think they need us. You watch. Okay? So, and breathe. And let's get on with this. Right, so that's the one we're headed towards. And this is the one we're working on. And have I done that? No, I haven't. No, have I, Eck? I've been scrambling. But I tell you what, we see in this pack, you got the colouring guide, haven't you? So that if you get fed up waiting for me, you can always pick a card and colour it in yourself. There's a large one of all 4 designs, aren't they? Gorgeous, right? Well done, Mel. I can see why she was inspired by her own work. And then there's an A5 one of each of them. So you've got 2 of each. You've got 2 A5s of each design, and then you've got the postcard ones, 4 of each design. So that's pretty cool, you know. That's hours of fun there. And thanks to Lisa for compiling this for us. And soon we're going to have another beautiful collection. I know, I can feel it in my waters. I know that Mel's on it now. When I saw those birds, I thought, sometimes it's not a bad idea to take your foot off the pedal, you know, and then come back to it, because they are glorious. Okay, so let's go to this colouring in, shall we? And let's get with our hands. How does that sound? I'll do this later. I will. I just got a lot on at the moment. I'm trying to run a business, look after mum and dad, do TV, sort this out. That's just more than is savoury, really, for one person. So now we're going to do this bit. Yes. And we've already kind of established, what trees are at the back and what, oh, look at me, stupid. You're looking at me going, yeah, all right. The top of your head's Andy. Sorry. We've already established which trees are at the back, which branches are at the back and which are at the front. See, because in the actual picture, it doesn't show you that. You've got to do that before you add the... There we are. So in the actual picture, see, look at this one. There isn't a line that says that dictates that this branch is in front or that branch is in back. You know? So what we did was, before we even added any colour, we already added the front and the back. We made the mesh, didn't we? What we're going to do now is use 3 greys, a light, a medium and a dark. You decide which ones you want to use. I think I'll use that one, and then I might use that one, and then I might use that one. That'll do. What's this then? What have I got? I've got cold grey 2, cold grey 3, and then I've got warm grey 5. That'll do. Only because I can't find cold grey 5. Also, warm is a bit browner, which is probably quite nice. And I've even got warm grey 4 if I'm going to get jiggy with it. So we've got the 230 people. Do you know what that tells me? Jilly's telling me on my phone. That tells me that I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. There are 230 people here. I don't mean it like that. It tells me that I'm not alone, that there is a need for us to just come together, you know, come together and, yeah, colour in, just be together. Be with a group. Don't be alone. You're not alone. You don't have to be alone. Don't be isolated. It's the same. It's exactly the same reason why we started the shack, isn't it? It's because of that isolation during lockdown. And now we're getting isolated in our fears around the invasion. Yeah? But You know, reality check. Reality check, friends. We're in England. We're not in Kiev. That's the first thing, you know, and of course we're empaths. Of course we empathize. Of course we sympathize, you know, and don't feel that we're being trivial by crafting. Quite the contrary. It keeps you sane. And it gives you good, like we were talking about on Thursday, good energy, sending good vibes, good energy, healing energy. It does. We do make a difference. 230 of us sending good, uplifting energy. I promise you that will make a ripple. They will. I'm not saying they'll feel it because they'll be feeling other ripples. But you know what? That's more positivity is what the key is here. Positive energy, healing energy. Predominantly, isn't it funny? I know there are guys in the room. Ken, one of my dearest friends, he's always with us in the shack. But in the main, we're women, aren't we, in this crafting community? No, we're different in that regard. You know, I think so. We can do this easily, right? We're homemakers. We understand. We get this. Now let's have a look. Light pencil, and what we're going to do is add shade to make one go to the back and one go to the front. So I've started there. I'm going to start with the lightest one. See? And we're just going to come through like that and just add a bit of shade. Let's concentrate on the tree at the front first, and then we can work our way backwards. Right, there we go. So this is the tree at the front. Let's just take it one tree at a time. One day at a time, one thought at a time, one tree at a time. You know what we were talking about on Thursday about redirecting your thinking, you know? You've got to redirect your thinking, friends. It's very easy to get sucked into the war. It is. But, you know, it won't help you. It won't help them. Right, there we are. Do something to help. Don't just watch. Don't be an onlooker. There. And then we're going to go in with the light ones, you see? So you come in gently like that, and then you just, now it's nice and dry, you can do that. Let's just check the right tree, even though it's at the back now. There you go. Just concentrate on one tree at a time. Then you feather out, see? So you go in there, and then you just come through, drive through, and then feather out. There you go. Nice. No, this one doesn't take long. Do you find? I find when I do this, as soon as I start shading, the tension goes out of my shoulders. That's where the first place I see it or feel it. Just, it's amazing, really. There you go. See, this is the front tree that we've done now. All the way down. There. So that's that one. Just always on the left-hand side, on this side. See, so you've got to pretend that the light is coming from here, from the top, right, or from this side. If you do it from that side, we can always add a bit of shadow around the back on the other side too. But let's do this side first, and then we'll move the moon. Okay, how's that sound? Right, so we've done that one, and then we'll use the same light pencil just to define, right? And then you can decide whether you want to go. Let's go back to the next tree behind. So the next one behind, I reckon we'll go to this one here now, right? It doesn't take long when you do it, does it? I could do with a new one, really. What is this one? Cold Grey 2. I clearly like this one. Well, it's a safe pencil, isn't it? It's light. If this was like dark Payne's Grey or something, I'd have to really go easy. See? So this tree goes down past these leaves as well. I know I haven't done this yet. I set you homework and I didn't do it myself. Sorry. Thing is, when I do the TV, see, that 2-hour show, it takes about 2 days to prepare, you know. I spent all Saturday getting that little feast ready. It's like a Sunday roast, a TV show. Spend all day preparing it and then it's gone in half an hour. And it's like Christmas dinner every month. But for me, I can't imagine trying to do a TV show without preparing and knowing exactly what I'm doing. I mean, seriously, I couldn't. There's no way. No way. Not in a month of Sundays. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I do TV. I've done for 15 years now. And craft TV, I mean, it's not it's not the Beeb, do you know what I mean? It's just an opportunity. What it is it's a place where I can go and show a lot of people what we're doing and what we're launching at the same time. That's what the Selly Telly is for me, craft TV. You know, that doesn't make me that doesn't make me anything other than somebody who demonstrates on craft TV. Oh dear. Anyway, so yesterday it took the best part of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to prepare yesterday. But then you see, that's how it works, and it gives me confidence having all that prep. So we've done that one, but we haven't done this side. You see, we're just doing this side, drop shadow practice, and then I think we'll go to this one in the middle, this one here. Are you doing this with me? Are you? It's it's very relaxing. There you go. Yeah, so when you prep the way I do, which is almost obsessive, it really is. It's not. I just feel I've got to know what I'm doing before I start. Like the bus driver here, I've got to have a rough idea where we're headed. Otherwise, you're wasting people's time, aren't you? So, and you know, I think I've always seen going on TV like Crate and Craft or Hochanda or QVC or any of the shopping telly that I've worked with. I always see it as a great privilege. You know, I don't take anything for granted. And if they're going to they're prepared to pay for all that airtime because it costs a fortune to do these, to run these TV channels. And I think, well, the least I can do is know what I'm doing. Hey, what do you think? So we did very well yesterday. All the gremlins were, well, not all the gremlins, a lot of the gremlins had gone out of the system. It's hard enough launching a new channel without trying to blend two into one. So, yeah, I'm going to this tree. Where am I going now? This tree here. So I've got quite a chisel going here. Is everybody all right? Everybody happy enough? Hey? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't take it for granted going on telly. I always get nervous, still do. And it's just in my nature. And there's no point in fighting it. I've been accused of being arrogant because I kind of stay in my lane when I'm up there. But the fact is, I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm there to do a job. I'm not there to gossip and buy into all that. There's a lot of that it's not my bag, not my thing. So I quite Paul and I go up there. We do our TV shows. We set up the set ourselves. We do it all ourselves. We're like a one-man band. We're a two-man band. We do everything. We do. We really go prepared. Because the thing is, when you're on TV, you think, right? You only need to. You're doing a demonstration, and then you go to grab an ink pad or something, and it's not there. You can't be rummaging around for 15 minutes like you can in your art room. You've got exactly 5 seconds to locate it, and after that, it's game over. So you could have spent a whole day preparing a piece of artwork, but you've got 5 seconds before the camera will pan off and go somewhere else. Lost that one, you see? And so you've got to have everything at your fingertips. Imagine that, but you've got to make it look effortless. This is only my opinion. I haven't been taught this. I worked this out for myself. You've got to make it look completely effortless, as if it's just natural the way it's working. And you've got everything there that you need, your pencils, your rubbers, your this, your pens, your inks, it's all got to be. And I tell you what, the best training that you could possibly have for this, right, is 2 years of the SHAC Shack. I'm telling you that. 2 years. And not that I only need 5 seconds, but because there's nobody here to help me, I got so used to being self-contained and always having everything to hand. Yeah. Dan was saying yesterday on the telly, he said it's quite amazing because I've always got a spare. These may be on the counter down there, right? I've got one here. And these may be on the counter down there or on the pole being the product list, right? But I've always got them around me because when we're in the shack, I'm always going, I've always got it in front of me, haven't I? I've always got it hidden somewhere. So I'm like, that really, like I got one of them handy. Forgot that yesterday, didn't I? Nearly blew it out. But Paul shot round the back because we've got a cage around the back of the studio and we've got a spare. And that's how that happened. But that's the way it works, you see. I remember Lottie Mayer. I love Lottie Mayer. She was a presenter at Create and Craft 10 years ago. And she always used to say, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And I thought, yeah, aren't you right? It's true, isn't it? Hilda says, I'm a well-oiled machine. Well, thank you, Hilda. I feel like a cranky old machine today, but it's very good of you to say so. Yeah. Prep. It's all about the prep. My dad always used to say, when we do exams so I've done that one. I'm on that one now. This one. My dad always used to say when I was going into an exam or getting ready for something like this, he would say 95%, 5% inspiration, 95% perspiration. That's what he would say to me. He's right, actually. 5% inspiration, 95% perspiration. Which sort of says the same thing, doesn't it? I'm sure that there are naturals that can just get up in front of a camera and just start, I have had to wing it a few times. I have. I'm good in a crisis. I'm good in a crisis. Some people they fall apart in a crisis, and then there are other people that get really calm. Like, that's me. I'm like that. When it's a crisis, I'm quite calm. After the crisis, I collapse. But while it's happening, I'm the voice of reason. I'm the one that says, right, let's diffuse this situation, let's do this, let's call an ambulance, do this, do that. It's weird, isn't it? It's just that, again, that's in your nature, isn't it? But when it comes to actually, see, I think I ought to sharpen this, but I want the softness of that first edge. Yeah, when it comes to preparing, it just makes for a softer landing, doesn't it? I think so. Like the show yesterday, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. What time do you think I was there? Go on, have a guess. The show starts at 3 o'clock. We set the stand up ourselves. We do the table ourselves and that. Get the demos ready, get it all planned, get it all set up so I know where it all is. What time do you think I was ready to start setting up? Bearing in mind it's like a 3-hour drive to Peterborough from here. So what time did I get there? Go on, have a guess. And don't be ridiculous. I didn't go the night before. I didn't. I slept in my own bed. So I like sleeping in my own bed when I can. And when I got there at 10 o'clock, okay? 5 hours early. Yeah, there you go. 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Look. And when I got there at 10 o'clock, Paul's already there. He was. He'd already emptied his car. He's on today. He was at 7 o'clock this morning. He's got another show at 12 o'clock. Do go and watch Paul. We're here to keep you company, you know. I think this is that time again where many of you welcome company, you know. Bit of activity, bit of banter, bit of chat, bit of communication. I love that you chat between each other. I can't read it because I'm losing my eyesight, but I shouldn't even joke about that. Oh, look. There we are. 7, 10, 10, 10, 10, 7. I don't think so. 7 was when I left here. But I mean, for a 3-hour show, for a 3 o'clock show, that is obsessive, you know. You're supposed to be there 2 hours beforehand. Officially, 2 hours before the show. I've never been only 2 hours before the show ever. That would freak me out. I need an hour. Just put my makeup on. Nerves. Oh dear. I believe one should look one's best when one's on telly. Don't you? Come on. So a bit of colouring. Yeah, so Paul's on at 12 o'clock today. He was on at 7. Nobody's watching at 7, I said, but a few did. And he's got these beautiful, again, they're Mel's artwork. I've got a card that there. These are lovely. These dies, fresh cut dies. I love the Floral Friends dies. I think they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's what Paul's doing on the telly. And he's actually got the Rainbow River paper on as well, ironically. I just found this and I thought, I know. If I can weave that into our banter, then I will. 12 o'clock, Create and Craft, Paul Church, fresh cut dies. Great price, beautiful, really nice. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So Paul's up there. And then he'll be with you tomorrow in the Groovy Tuesday. Groovy Tuesday. And then I'm going to... So what do I think? Now, this is interesting. Do you see how, because we've done the same side of all the branches, always on the same side, haven't we? This side and this side. Now I'm just going through to make sure that I've done all the right. Yep, 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 yep. So what's interesting is when you just do the one side, doesn't it really now, from a distance, what you're looking at is you see how the light is hitting it from that side. It's obvious, isn't it? And you could stretch these shadows out further. So, I mean, we've only put down a small layer. You can see the colour in the one that I finished is darker, isn't it? It's definitely more pronounced. But look at the difference between the shading on that one, where the light is definitely coming from that side, and the shading on this one, where the light is probably coming from the front, because I've gone in on this side and on that side. Do you see? Choices, choices, choices. You see? Looks different. This is one side, this is both sides. Your choice. And then once you've done, let's do one side really extreme so we learn about shadow. Yeah. And you've got the lightest color. See, and what you're going to do now, can you do this? It's ever so easy. So let's just do a little, if for example, that's the line of the tree. Okay. And we take our line, our light color, and we're going along the light color, right? Like that. Okay, let's just show you what we're doing. So we go down the light color, down the trunk, right? And then, so that we don't get a stripe, I can't even, can you see this? Because I wonder if you can see what I'm doing here. Let's have a look. So now, go like that. Be Cozy says you have to be a swan to work on TV. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Peddling like a lunatic underneath the counter. There's a counter at the craft store, at Create and Craft, where you can see their legs. You can see the legs as well. It's called the attic. There are different sets, and most of the sets, they've got like shelving, so it's solid at the front. But one of them looks like bench, you know, so you can see my legs. And I don't like that counter because one, there's nowhere to put all my boxes and all my prep, and two, you can't see you can see me running around. You see the legs. Although the cameraman, the director, always assures us that you can't see my legs, but you can. I've watched. Right, see, so you go like that, and you get that on that edge, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to feather. Look. So what you do is, I'm doing it fast. Do it slowly. You're going like that. Okay, these are different choices. You can feather like that. I think that's the best way to go. So you go like that, and then you just feather, or you could call it hatching. So what we mean by hatching is you're going like that, hatch, 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 right? That looks good because you see it's a real nice graduation. You can also cross hatch, it's called, and that means you're going back to the line and you go cut across. So then you cut across like that, and you gently, 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 but you'll see you get a really good, see the depth. So, and then the idea is, so we've done that with a light pencil. Now go to the next darker pencil. What's this one? Cold Grey 3. Let's try that one. Right, let's play it safe. I would always play it safe. And now we'll go back into that, closer to the edge of the, here we go, look. So now gently, 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 you go back in closer to the edge of that tree trunk. Yeah. And then if you like, you can feather again. Right, so but this time you're not coming out as far with your feathering or your hatching. So now the other thing to do is if you feel you can see that this is another way to get less pressure, more pressure. If you hold the pencil further down the shaft, I mean, I feel that I haven't got as much control, right? But I'm also not pressing as hard. The further I go down the pencil, I'm not pressing harder, but I'm automatically, it's physics, isn't it? I'm not pressing harder, but it's going to get blacker because I'm pressing, because I'm coming closer. It's just less of a lever, less of an angle, right? So on this one, on this particular one, I'm going to stay closer to the pencil, see? So now you'll see closer to the trunk, closer to the tip, and you'll see how it starts to build really a lot. And if you want, you see, you can always take the lighter one and come away a bit further. Cool, this is starting to look really tired. Let me just find my... I need a chisel on here. Rather than sharpen it and make it even shorter, let me get that thing. Cool, that looks a bit well loved as well. There you go. So this time I need to... I think I'm probably going to have to lose one of these sheets of sandpaper again. All in the name of art. Let me just... Oh no, I've still got a bit underneath there. That'll do. Waste not, want not. These sanding blocks are great for changing the nib on your pencils and not sharpening them or flattening them or giving you... Like this is giving me a great chisel edge now. That's better, see? Without actually losing a load of the pigment. There we are. See, so this is what we're doing now. We're going to get that lovely misty effect. And then once you go in with the darkest one, so now you're going to stay right close to that edge. I mean, the blue's not ideal grey, but you get the picture. And then you just feather down that with the darkest colour. And then now you'll see that it looks really, really... That's how you get... We've got to do it quite tight here. Pretend this was the world, the globe, yeah? Then what we're doing here, we're keeping it quite tight because it's a branch. But if this were a globe or a sphere, then that was a nice word, sphere, right? Then what you would do is you'd bring this one down further. So you'd bring the light grey one and you'd hatch it out further. So here we go. Look, I'm just showing you. So then, for example, this comes out further because it's a globe. Say this is a great big round, right? So then your next layer of shading, what pencil's that, would come out again using... See how I'm coming further away up the pencil because it gives me... I'm using the flat of the pencil now, see? So 3/4 of the way up. Now I'm coming sort of halfway up, see? So now I'm bringing this end in and then I'll bring this down. So you've got the light colour to here, then the medium colour to here, then the darkest colour. So this is how you work in. So you can't do this on this particular artwork because, of course, there's not enough room. You'd be bumping into the next branch. So we're keeping it quite tight on the drop shadow on that one. And then when you go to the darkest one, see, again, you hold the pencil rather differently and you're coming in at an angle like this, right? And now you're just 1/4 of the way, you watch. So what you're doing is you're going light to here, medium to there, and then darkest right up the side. There we go. So now you'll see how you can expand it. Do you see? It's not just... It would look pretty weird if you were doing a sphere. That sound right? Sphere. And it was all contained within 1/4 of an inch of the edge. That would look ridiculous. You see? So all you're doing is, the way I taught myself was, I said, right, depending on it's always 3 colours, light, medium and dark when you're shading, and depending on the distance that you've got, you're going to go 3/4 is white. That's white. 3/4 of it is light grey, half of it is medium grey, and 1/4 of it is dark grey. And if you really want to make the line pop, then you put an even darker colour, like black or dark grey, like Payne's grey, right on the edge. And that's really my rule of thumb. So on this one, for example, so that's how you would just bring it out. It all depends on how far you want to come out. Hopefully that will help somebody. So we've done the grey, light grey, right, with the chisel. See, I've got a nice flat chisel on there. I've come out to, let's say, I've come out to there. Don't want to come out too far, otherwise we'll just make the whole thing muddy. So then I'll go to my next lighter one. And I'm going to go in the same... I think on this one, I'm just going to start here and work my way that way, because then I know what I've done and what I haven't done. Yeah? So now on this one, let's see. I'm going to just stay on that edge. I feel like I've already done this bit. Right. So now, see, and that's the thing, when you've got a chisel, if you turn the pencil round, there's going to be a sharper. So you've got the flat, but then you've got the sharper edge. When you turn it round, you've got the sharper edge. So that's how you get your sharper. So you get that going now. Right, so I'm coming round now with the darker one. That's it, just feather it down. And just stay there. And then just go in there. Thing about this is, even if it takes a while, it's just call it cheap therapy. I do. I could spend hours doing this, and I know a lot of you could as well. And there's no harm in that, you know? There's no harm in that. To get with your hands. It works for me every single time, friends. If I'm getting anxious, and I find I get anxious a lot, especially when there's turmoil in the world, I get frightened. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend. You know, I get really, really frightened, and you know, and all the reasoning in the world takes ages to get back down off that fear edge. When you're on that fear edge, and it starts in your head, once that train's left the station in my head, the fear train, it's very difficult to get it back in. Do you not find that? It's horrible. And so one thing that helps me always is to divert my attention. And so like something like this, colouring in, it diverts my attention. Because I've got to concentrate. See, I'm going to concentrate light grey, medium grey, dark grey. Don't press too hard. Make a lovely shade. And then look. Isn't that great? And once you've done this, right, if you feel like, say for example, say you feel that you're not getting a really good blend between the two colours. Let's just say, I haven't done them all yet, but let's say, because I like the challenge. See, then I go in with a little bit of light again, like that. But we've got blending nibs. There are things called nibs. You've got these things called nibs, blending nibs. And if here they are. I've got loads. See, and if you take a blending nib, there they are. I just need a clean one because I can see it's got red on the end of this one, so that's rubbish. And then what the blending nib does is, even dry, you don't need oil for it or anything, but just a dry blending nib like this, what it will do is it will smooth out you just have to, it's like circular motions, and you just go in like that, and then we've done this before in the shack, haven't we? But what you'll find is that really, it smooths out the light grey and the dark grey. It bridges that gap. If you feel that you're not, it just spreads the pigment really, right? But that's quite a nice way to blend. If you see, I like the challenge of making it a seamless sweep, like airbrushed almost. But if you're struggling with that, this is a really nice way to do it, especially if you're using two different colours. Say, say you're doing something. Not necessarily shading, but say, for example, you were colouring in, I don't know, the rabbit or the hare in a minute. When we get to do the hare, we'll finish this on Thursday. But say when we go to do the hare, if you want to blend the black tips of the ears with the grey, then that's when I would probably use a blending nib to do that. There we are. So that's quite nice too. Well, which empowers or what? I've just seen Jilly's just said, Bernie asks, would you use a blending nib after shading? That's your answer, Bernie. That's weird. Crikey. Yes, Bernie, great minds think alike. Well done. See, I like practicing to get the. It depends. Do you want to pump this artwork out and get it done? Get it gone off the table? That looks quite good. There we go. And you can do that. So the other thing, there's one more place before we finish where I would add, even if we're only doing a drop shadow, so now you got choices. Look at the difference between the light on this and the light on that. It's interesting, isn't it? But one place where I would add shade, right, and I'd go again grey, light grey, is where there's a tree in front. So now let's start again from this side. And so, for example, here, I would add shadow down the trunk there, like that. If it hasn't already been done. So it's been done, but let's do it a bit more, like that. And then, for example, on the other side, use the light colour. Oh, hello. So that this side is also, it's definitely, but just on the trunk, see, like that. Just do it on the trunk or on the branch. What am I talking about, trunk? Sorry, I am tired. Forgive me. Right, so then what you'll find is when you do it like that, let me see. Yeah, see? So this one, for example, it's there and it's there. Just the light colour, though. I treat myself. This is getting too short. See, it's on that side of the branch as well. See how it makes it pop? But a bit stripy grey. That side and that side. Because that would be where the shade is. It's logical, Captain. Here we are. There. See? Don't need too much, but just enough to make it move a bit. I think so. There you go. On that side and on that side and on that side and on that side and on that side. There. Logical. There's one there I've missed. There. Just get in there. Just on the branch. Then step away from it, have another look, have a cup of tea, check it out, come back. Let's have a look. Got a bit going on here as well. What have I got going on here? Bit there, bit there, bit there. Feathering out. Let's have a look when we turn it around. That's pretty. And we can go more, we can go deeper, we can come out further. It's up to you. And if all else fails and you do a bit that's wrong, then you get your red rubber. Don't press too hard, because if you press too hard, then what happens is sometimes the pink rubber gets ground into your artwork. But say I want to kind of take this back a little bit because I think I overcooked it or it's too dark, or then I can go back in and I can lighten up. See, it just takes it straight back out again. So that's worth knowing. These are our biggest selling items. These and groovy tabs. Oh, and blending nibs, funnily enough. Those three are the top three in our arsenal, aren't they, Jilly? So there you go. Light grey, medium grey, darkest grey. You can go on one side, 50 shades of grey. You can go on one side of the tree to get that effect. You can go on both sides of the trees. And so when we get together, or you can go on, just do the background. Look, just total background like Dee did. That looks nice too. Make that white pop. And then what we'll do on Thursday when we get together, we'll do the hairs, we'll do the fields, and we'll finish off the inking. We'll do a little bit more colour with those We'll finish on the fun. We'll do some fun. So maybe by then you'll have your little elastic bands and you'll have your cotton wool buds, and then we can go from there. How does that sound? Yeah? How does that sound? So let me see. How are we going to keep you company this week? Well, today at 12 o'clock, Paul is on the telly with you. So there you go. He's polished. He's such a good paper engineer. We call people that do lots of die cutting and stuff like paper engineer. He's very good at that. So that's his strength, really. He's really good. And that comes from years of working with Wendy, I think. He's really top banana at this stuff. So he comes up with the most beautiful ideas. Right, so that's today at 12 o'clock. And that's using those Floral Friends dies from their Mel Turner's designs as well. And then tomorrow it's Groovy Tuesday. So that'll be Paul again doing that. Groovy plates. Don't forget the Groovy Sunflower. Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we're launching Linda Williams' beautiful, really nice flowers and lace plates at 6 o'clock in the evening on Create and Craft. Then on Thursday at 10 o'clock, you and I are hanging out together again. Okay, we'll do that. Then on Friday, I may have a day off and go and see my mum and dad. In fact, not maybe, I am, because it's birthday weekend this weekend, so I'm going to go and see them on Friday. And yeah, it will be all right. We'll just keep going, one day at a time. There's never been a more important saying than one day at a time. One day at a time. So all you've got to do is do today, today. Keep it in the day. Keep it in the day. Keep smiling. Keep sending positive energy out. Don't feed off the news. It won't help you, and it won't help the poor people in Ukraine. It won't. Once a day, that's all. Should we do that? I'm just going to watch the news once a day just to get the updates, or I'll even default it and ask somebody else to tell me what's happened. There's always somebody that knows more than me. I've always said, if something's really, really, really terrible, I'll just ring my dad. He'll tell me, because he feeds off the news, I'm afraid. He hooks into it, and he's full of fear as a result of it, you know. And I say to him, don't watch it. I did notice when I was there last week, he didn't have the radio on anymore. He's done with radio. Because I said, oh, you've got the radio on, Dad? He said, they catastrophize. He said, it is a catastrophe. I don't need to be fed catastrophizing. Yeah. So he's, 85. He knows, you know. So it's interesting, isn't it? Stay safe, stay healthy, and I shall see you on Thursday. Oh, no, Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the evening with Linda's beautiful plates. Lots of love. Jilly, thank you for your help. And don't forget to see Paul at 12. Bye-bye.